So welcome to Southern Assault Game 3. So my Demons of Chaos are now going up against Warriors of Chaos. So after the first two rounds where we're matched up by comp score, that goes out the window. It's now purely by battle points. It's no holds barred. I could be playing comp 1 lists, and there were a couple of comp 1 lists out there. And I was definitely nervous about that. I was expecting to be thrown to the wolves after my first two rounds. I'd done what I came to do, score very well in the first two rounds, and then after that I'm going to try and play a little bit more defensively, try not to give up points, because I've got my advantage now. I'm well ahead of everyone else at the tournament. I just need to hold on to that for the next three games. As it happened, I played Nick. Nick's name has been one I've heard more and more in the tournament circuit. He got third place at the Brawler Bash Grand Tournament, so I know he's a good player. And so he's running a comp 12 list, so definitely not as bad as it could be. It's a good bit harder than my 19, but it's definitely got some concessions compared to the usual rock hard Warriors of Chaos list. So this is actually at the end of turn one. His first turn one, he went first. I'll go through his list briefly. First of all, he had two lords. He had a Chaos Lord on a disc. And he had a Demon Prince. So in order to fit them both into the Lord Allowance, the Demon Prince had to be pretty cut down. He didn't have any magic levels, but still a Demon of Prince of Nurgle, still had Soul Feeder so he can regain his wounds, and still a complete pain. Other than that, he did have a wizard, low-level wizard, and he had two Nurgle Chariots. Nurgle Chariots are a pain. I always forget they're -1 to hit. That just makes them so much harder. He had two units of dogs. They're in sort of dart formation. They're pure chaff. He had two Shaggoths. So obviously not something you see very often. This is where he was getting his comp boost. The two Shaggoths cost a lot of points and they cost very little in the comp point to negative system. So these guys are where he's getting his high comp score, and they're still pretty nasty. They're still a monster. They've still got Thunderstomp. Other than that, to finish it off, there is a unit of Chaos Knights. He's got his BSB in there, and a unit of Tzeentch Warriors with Sword and Board. So in his first turn, he moved one of his dog units up, moved one of his Shaggoths up. He's obviously trying to do a sort of pincer maneuver. He's holding his center steady, trying to draw me in. And he ummed and ahed where his Demon Prince was going eventually, and was happy where they went. I think he was a bit nervous being in the special room with the cameras and everything. And at this point, I was pretty happy with how it looked. I figured I could deal with the peripheral elements, and I had enough speed that I could keep going. The one thing that really bothered me was that Flying Chaos Lord. I figured I could tie up the Demon Prince with my infantry. It'd take him a while to eat through those. If I could tie up his Chaos Lord, I could pretty much clear up on the other stuff. At least that was what I was thinking. So you can see here his Demon Prince is just plonked himself right in front of one of my units, just telling me to charge him. So, that's pretty much what I did. And then over on this side, he's placed his Chaos Lord next to my Furies and another unit of Demonettes. So I charged the Shaggoth on the right with both the unit of Demonettes and my Seekers. I'm pretty confident I can win combat there. I was really wondering whether I should stick the Seekers in there with the infantry unit, or just the Seekers by themselves, because while the infantry unit added a couple of ranks, they also could be Thunderstomped, so I wasn't sure about that. Over here, I charged the Demon Prince. The Demon Prince has snapped off his base, and we just simply took him off because he was getting in the way. I charged one of his chaff units with one of my chariots. And I charged his Chaos Knights. Now, I charged them with both the Big Chariot and the Keeper, and both of them were sort of, I wouldn't say easy charges, but they were sort of around about the sort of average. The Chariot failed and the Keeper went in. I think I kind of forgot his BSB was in there. I was kind of expecting to be able to chew through his knights, but I had Cacophonic Choir, and I was really hoping to bubble that, and that would be, one good Cacophonic Choir would be him done for, really. And over here, I charged my Furies first into his Chaos Hounds, just to get rid of that chaff unit. I figured my Furies would kill them easily, and that would be the end of them. And then over at the bottom of the screen, you can see my Demonettes have charged his Lord. I'm not expecting to kill him, but I just want to tie him up and prevent him from, causing nuisance. Next was Magic Phase. I rolled the result on the table that Nurgle gets angry. Nurgle apparently took offense to his sorcerer and killed him dead. So that was kind of helpful. Over here, I beat the Shaggoth in combat. I did a couple of wounds. He did a few wounds to me. I won combat by a whole bunch. He turned and fled, and I didn't catch him. Even though I had Swift Stride and he didn't, I wasn't able to catch him. So he's now fleeing. He's at the edge of the board. He's got one chance to rally. Over here, my failed charge. I really probably shouldn't have declared that charge. His response was obviously to charge my chariot with his chariot. I was close enough that it wasn't too hard for him to charge. I think I took a risk trying to charge those knights that wasn't necessary. I was trying to get, if I could have got both the keeper and the chariot into them, then that would have, I could have challenged out his champion and really made a mess of that unit and turned around. So it was a gamble. It didn't pay off. In the Magic Phase, the previous turn, I did try the Cacophonic Choir, but I didn't reach the casting value, so it didn't go off. So his chariot charges into me. He doesn't do an awful lot of damage with impacts, but he does kill my BSB, which made me sad. Especially since my BSB went first, has got... she had the multi-wound 2, so if she could have got a couple of wounds in, I think multi-wound 2 and strength 5, so I was really hopeful that she could actually, she only had to do 2 wounds to smash the chariot, but unfortunately it was not to be. Over on the left, he sent his Shaggoth in to deal with my Demonettes, and deal with them. They did. Between the two of them, they were able to kill that unit pretty effectively. And my Furies up there charged the dogs, just failed to do anything. The dogs survived just fine. Over on this side, the Shaggoth rallied. Of course he did. He's sitting on... I think he's only taken 2 wounds. This chariot here charged into my Demonettes. It took a few wounds, I think, from Nurgle, personally taking umbrage, as well as the sorcerer. In which case he did a few wounds to me, but I was able to kill him.